We, the people of Guyana, have long set out across the world, settling in nearly every corner of the globe. Along the way, we've embraced the cultures, languages, and customs of our adopted homes, many of which now serve as the birthplaces and native lands of our children and grandchildren. Yet wherever we go, we also bring something of ourselves. G-Town Universal is a space that explores this beautiful cultural exchange. It's a living archive of Guyanese voices in the diaspora, a place where the impact of our presence abroad is not only acknowledged but celebrated. Through poetry, storytelling, and thoughtful conversations, we dive deep into what it means to be Guyanese, here, there, and everywhere.
In the previous episode, we told the story of Jillian Wiles Harding. Here is a clip of Jillian in her own words.
And he gone. Mm-hmm. And I really like, okay, this cake looks really nice. Sometimes I admire my work immediately, but most of the times I find a fault in it. Mm-hmm. And then people would say, oh my God, this cake is so good. Like recently I did a cake and everybody was like, what are y'all talking about? That cake was not my best. But people were sharing it as like, this cake, I was seeing all the flaws in it. Right. But, but there's a few, 1 or 2 pieces of my work that I really admire. It's like, okay, I really like how this cake it came out, yeah.
In episode 2, we leave Jillian's home base of Georgetown and travel some 70 miles away to Rose Hall, a community in the East Berbice Quarantine region of Guyana.
My name is Sharma Shawn Sukhdeo, and I am from the town of Rose Hall in Berbice, Guyana. When I was 16 years old, I had just finished high school. I'd written my CXC exams in Guyana, passed them, and thought I was done with that chapter of my life. Then my family made the decision to migrate. Not just my mom, my brother, and me, but practically our entire family, all at once, all heading to Queens, New York. My grandmother was the one who brought us over, and suddenly 7 of us were squeezed into a small apartment in Queens. It's the classic Guyanese immigrant story, the one that thousands of families have lived through and continue to live through today. Now, people always assume you'd be excited about coming to America, right? That's what everyone wanted back then, to migrate, to get that chance. But I wasn't excited, I was nervous. I was leaving everything I knew, my home, my friends, the life I'd built in Berbice. And you have to understand, my idea of America came from movies like Home Alone. That's what we watched on the limited television we had access to in Berbice in the early 2000s. I thought that's what America was going to be like, spoiler alert. It wasn't. When I got here at 16, I had to re-enroll in high school. At the time, I didn't know I could have had my CX certificate assessed for equivalency to a GED or high school diploma. Nobody in my family had that kind of education or background or know how to guide me through it. Most of them hadn't gone to high school or college themselves. So I went back to school. And honestly, it was the best thing that could have happened to me. I enrolled at John Adams High School, and my brother and I both graduated from there. That 9 months gave me something invaluable. It helped me embed myself into the culture, understand the lingo, learn the baseline expectations of the American education system. The coursework was actually much easier than what I'd done in Guyana. School back home was more rigorous, more demanding. So I breezed through and graduated in 9 months at 17. If I had to do it all over again, I'd do it exactly the same way. But let me tell you about the culture shock in Guyana. We wore uniforms to school. That was embedded in me. It's just what you did. Suddenly, I'm in New York, and there's no uniform. I have to decide what to wear every single morning. Fashion became a thing. What kind of sneakers are you wearing? What crew do you want to fit in with? It was overwhelming. Everything was moving faster here than it ever did in Guyana. And I was trying to keep up while holding on to pieces of who I was. Cricket became my anchor. I was lucky enough to join the second year of the public school cricket program in Queens. The peace sale had just started it because so many West Indian kids like me had migrated and wanted to keep playing. We couldn't even find a coach at first, so we took the soccer coach, a guy from Peru or somewhere in Hispanic America, and convinced him to coach us. He fell in love with the game and he's still doing it over a decade later. Through cricket, I formed bonds with friends I still have today. Just yesterday, I went to a friend's 10-year wedding anniversary. Someone I met back then, who came to the country at the same time as me. We went through the same struggles, the same adjustments, and that shared experience created friendships that last. After high school, life started moving really fast. I went to college, started working on my associate's degree at 17. I delivered pizzas, I drove taxis, I worked at Dunkin' Donuts. I did every odd job you can imagine while trying to build myself up. That 2-year degree, it took me 6 years to finish. Life got in the way. Work, bills, just trying to survive. But I finished it in 2014. Then I started my bachelor's degree, and that took another 6 years, ups and downs, career changes, all the things everybody goes through. But I never gave up.
Now I'm the head of security for JP Morgan Chase in New England. I live in Boston. And Boston is probably the biggest culture shock I've experienced since leaving Guyana. Boston is basically that Home Alone movie. I thought all of America would be like, the food isn't there, the people aren't there, the culture isn't there. It's more American, in a way that Queens never was. Because Queens still felt like home. The West Indian food, the music, the people, it was all there. I could leave Guyana, but not really leave it, you know? In Boston, I have to work to maintain that connection. I learned to cook our food because I had to. I drive 45 minutes to an hour just to find goat meat. I'm currently working on my MBA, still pushing myself, still climbing. And if there's one piece of advice I'd give to anyone, especially young immigrants like I was, it's this. Show your work ethic, network as much as possible, and always want to self-improve. Don't work on somebody else's timeline, work on yours. It doesn't matter if your 2-year degree takes 6 years. It doesn't matter if life gets in the way, don't give up. I don't have kids yet, but I think about how I'll pass this culture on to them. The younger generation in my family doesn't want to hear about Guyana. They don't want to go. There's a stigma. They hear Guyana and think of crime and robbery, stories from decades ago, but Guyana has changed. My plan is simple. Just take them there, show them, let them experience it for themselves, because what we bring as Guyanese, what we contribute to America, is warmth, camaraderie, innocence in the best way. We're welcoming, loving people, open doors, good food, good music, good friends. That's what Guyana means to me. And that's what I want to pass on. I've lived half my life in Guyana and half my life in America, and people say I have the best of both worlds most days. I believe that, but some days when I smell the Queen's air or taste the perfect curry or hear a good chutney song, I realize that both worlds doesn't quite capture it. It's more like I'm building a third world, one that holds all the pieces of who I've been and who I'm becoming, and I'm still building it. One day at a time.
Born in the land of the mighty Roraima, land of great rivers and far-stretching seas. So like the mountain, the sea and the river, great, wide and deep in our lives would we be. 'Cause we were born in the land, hey, hey, we were born in the land. Oh, yes, we were born in the land.